If you want to know how I achieved this meal, please make sure you subscribe, and please watch until the end for the full recipe. Welcome to my cooking vlog. Today we are cooking a special African delicacy. This is mostly common in Africa. So this is tripe cow intestines. Yeah. So in Shona it's called maguru. I'm originally from Zimbabwe and I'm from the Shona culture, and we call this meal or this delicacy maguru. And then the intestines are called Matumbu. In South Africa, I think it's called ulusu. So, first things first, remember this is the inside of a cow. You must wash it properly so that you wash off all the cow scent, so that you won't smell that this is a cow thing. So, wash it properly, rinse it in cold water on a running tap. Then if you don't have running tap, you can soak them off in a bowl or a bigger dish, and then make sure you wash properly. So as you can see, I have a bigger pot next to me, so I was also soaking them there in warm water. So now guys, I'm just cutting the tripe into smaller pieces. This is harder than I thought. It's very hard shrimp. I need help, and I don't have any help, so we need to cut it into smaller pieces. Ouch. So guys, I'm done with cutting the tripe. So now I just have to give it one last rinse. You see, I'm washing it for the last time. Everything is cut into nice pieces. So once I wash it for the last time, I'll boil it for 3 hours. And during the last 30 minutes, that's when I'll add matumbu inside, because they cook faster. So yeah. So here I have my salt. And then, so we'll just boil the meat. You cover it with water, full level, and you add the second and third time. Remember, it's boiling for 3 hours. You just boil with salt alone. So that's what I'm doing now. So now it's boiling. I've just put it on fire. So guys, it's now 30 minutes to go. I'm left with 30 minutes. Remember, we are boiling for 3 hours, so I've boiled for 2 hours 30 minutes. The remaining 30 minutes I'm now adding matumbu, because they cook faster according to Google. So after mixing your matumbu and your maguru, like the tripe and intestine, you now have to add the no cubes. It's beef flavor, just to add the flavor. We are trying for the tripe. So as you saw guys, I just put 2 beef cubes. Yeah. And then it's because our water is almost finished, so the 2 beef cubes will give it a flavor. Yeah, and more salt. So you let it simmer and cook until when the water is almost finished. That's when I'll add tomatoes and onion, and we'll be done. Happy cooking. Whilst you are waiting for the water to finish in the pot, you can start by cutting your onion. I used one onion and then two tomatoes, but my tomatoes are not that big. But if you have huge tomatoes, you can just use one or one and a half. Also, depending on how much you love tomatoes. At this stage, you're seeing that our water is finished. So that's when you add your onions. Because you know onions, they need to cook longer. So you put your onions first before you put tomatoes. And then since my oil is a bit low, I have to add more oil. Because the oil which is in the pot is the one which came from the meat. So I have to add a little more original cooking oil so that my onions will fry, and then the tripe will just have that oiliness, all is good. And then you let it fry a bit. Don't burn it. We are not roasting, remember. It's just for the oil and the onion and the flavor to just sink inside the meat. Always stir inside the pot so that they won't stick. My pot is a non-stick and the intestines, they stick a lot. So now I've added my tomato. These are two small tomatoes. And these are the spices I'll be using. Don't put a lot of spices. I'm just using these three. However, you remember that when we were boiling, we boiled with no cubes for the flavor. And now we're adding paprika, raja, and mixed herbs. This is the perfect combo. Like, you will never go wrong. Your tripe will be tasting delicious. Look how it's looking, and the oil is still cooking in. The spices are just roasting inside. The flavor, guys, trust me, this is very delicious. It even looks delicious. After everything sits in, after your tomatoes have breaked, you're no longer seeing the tomatoes and the onion are fully cooked and the spices have set in. That's when you add water. Just add the drops depending on the soup you want. Since I'm one person, I'm not adding a lot of water because I don't need a lot of soup. Look how yummy this is looking. Look at my gravy. This is yummy, guys. I made it. I nailed it. So on the side, I'll be making cabbage. So my recipe for cabbage is I just slice it into smaller cuts, and then I just add salt and black pepper. That's all. And next is my pap. I'll be eating with pap or rosada, maize meal. Yes, and then that's the finished product of our delicacy. Look how yummy delicious this is looking. So guys, are you not like being inspired? Trust my recipe. Trust me, it was delicious and it is delicious. Use this recipe, you'll never go wrong. So I'm just cooking my pap, my salsa, and it's done. And my cabbage is also done. It's time to dish up. So this is how everything looks. That's my salsa, guys, and my delicious meal. I really enjoyed. I hope you love it.